Hey everybody, Lex here, and yesterday the news broke that Montana 16 would be a mobile game for iOS, um, with an alpha launching this fall, and the actual game launching sometime next year, with possibility for Android after that if the iOS game does well. And if both the Android and iOS game do well, then possibility for PC. Now I'm going to give you my thoughts on the situation, and I'm going to address some of the things of the community. And whether you like it or not, you're a part of the community if you make videos about football games. When you move into a town, whether you like it or not, you are now a part of that community. You can say I'm not a part of that. You can say I'm not a part of that community. I don't want to be a part of that community. You can say all that, but you are. Just like in wrestling, there's the internet wrestling community. Well, if you talk about wrestling on the internet, you are a part of that community. You don't have a choice in the matter. The only choice you have is don't make videos critiquing football games or talking about football games if you don't want to be a part of that community. So, first thing, the reaction by the community, by some of the community, by most of the community, I'm pretty ashamed of. Now, some people had level-headed, fair assessments of the situation, but there's no reason at all for anyone to threaten violence towards anybody else, especially when you're talking about killing someone for, the fact that the video game wasn't what you thought it'd be. Now, I'm not going to say games don't matter, because we spend hours and hours of our lives devoted to playing and talking about these games. Some of us make a living off of talking about these games. Not myself, but, there are a few in the community who do make some extra change here and there talking about these games. But there's no reason to go out and harm or talk about harming anybody over a video game. Especially with what happened yesterday in Charleston. And, all this really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. It matters in day-to-day life, as hobbies, as stuff we like to do, stuff we're passionate about. But to the level of hurting somebody, no. That was beyond stupid, and I'm ashamed that anyone that would even talk about football video games would mention something like that. So, first and foremost, there's that. Now, there were a lot of people upset, and I completely understand that, because we were led to believe some things that were not true. And I was led to believe things that weren't true. Now, the majority of that is stuff that we made up, that we ran with, right? And this is a very interesting situation, because a lot of the evidence, quote unquote, pointed to this being more than just a mobile game. You talk about you have AAA developers on this game, and it's still a mobile game. It's unorthodox. So don't feel too bad if you think you got duped because you believed the evidence that we had found so far to be, okay, this is the most logical path for this. Apparently, this path has been anything but logical, and I think Damon Grow would even admit to that. Now, I am disappointed, and I want to get that out of the way, because I know that some people are going to listen to this and say that I'm an apologist, or I'm blind, or whatever you want to say. But I'm disappointed. I did not care if it came to consoles, to be 100% honest with you. I was really hoping for PC, though. I am not opposed to mobile gaming. I would say I play more mobile games, more amount of time of mobile games than any other game. because it's just easy to pick up, play for a couple minutes, put down, come back to in a couple minutes, and play a few more minutes. Currently, I play WWE Supercard, which I have a lot of fun with, but again, I get tired of it after a little while, put it down, and I always come back to it. And I play Fallout Shelter, which just released this past Sunday. And that's a fantastic, fun game, too. But I wouldn't say that I have the most fun playing mobile games. I would say that my preferred experience would be on a PC or on a console, where I have a controller in my hand and I feel like things aren't hidden behind a paywall. Now, sometimes consoles and PC games are like that, hidden behind paywalls and such. And just because that's the way a lot of mobile games are, doesn't mean that's the way Montana 16 will be. But, you just, when you hear mobile, those are the thoughts that come to your head. Microtransactions, paywalls, limited gameplay, limited depth, things of that nature. And I was really looking forward to something on PC, because I think with PC, and I said it in my City Skylines video, with PC there's potential for mods, there's potential for easy streaming to Twitch, there's potential for recording gameplay and uploading to YouTube much easier than having to buy an Elgato game device. You can just download a program like Fraps and do it that way. So, I mean, I am very disappointed that it's not PC, and we're not going to get PC for a long time. I'm pretty depressed about that fact. And that has nothing to do with Madden at all, because Madden doesn't release on PC, right? And even if Madden did, it's not really the experience I'm looking for on PC. What I'm looking for is a deep franchise mode. And you guys know that. I've told you that before. I'm a franchise guy. Gameplay is second to me. Gameplay is first to a lot of you and to a lot of the guys in the community, and I respect that. And I'm never going to knock anybody for wanting gameplay first. But for me personally, you have to have a compelling reason to play the game. That's why Madden, all these gameplay improvements and everything, they don't mean anything to me, because I don't have a compelling reason to play the game, because the franchise mode is nowhere where it needs to be as far as immersion goes and as far as authenticity. So really, I'm looking for an in-depth franchise mode. And the game has to play decently at least, but that's always second to me. But it doesn't matter right now, because we're not getting it for PC. We're getting it for mobile. Another problem with mobile is that for me to play mobile right now, I'd have to use my iPhone 5C, which is pretty tiny. And playing games like Fallout Shelter, or like playing Supercard, it's great. But playing Fallout Shelter, it's a little tough to navigate, and there's so many things on the screen, and I don't have huge hands, but still I click things that I shouldn't, and so on and so forth. So for this game, if you're in full control, it seems like iPad would be the best way to go, and iPads are really expensive. They're upwards to like $800 or something like that, and I don't have the desire to buy an iPad just for Joe Montana Football 16. I'm sorry, I don't. However, even though I am disappointed, I still will support Joe Montana Football 16 as a mobile game. And the reason I do that is because, listen, if you want change and you're not willing to go outside of your comfort zone, you're not going to get change. If you're going to show the folks at EA, Tiburon, that you're going to continue to buy the game, you're going to continue, like it was said by Rex Dixon this past week, Madden is the number 2 selling game in North America, or whatever it was. If you're going to continue to do that, to buy that game, regardless of how upset you are with it and how you think it's not producing, that's what's going to happen. In any other genre, if a game is BS or comes up short, it doesn't sell. And with exception of games like maybe Call of Duty, but even then, most of Call of Duty is critically acclaimed. They do see it as a polished product. Madden is not a polished product at all. And I think it gets away with a lot. Now, it's a playable game. It is, because I played Madden 25 for hundreds of hours in franchise mode. And, it got to the point in franchise mode where it glitched out. Like, I couldn't do anything, and I was in danger of losing some of my teams that I had under control. And there was no way that I was going to be able to get them back because the mechanics in owner mode weren't working correctly. So I do want to support Joe Montana Football 16, and I hope it is something. It sounds promising. The things they talk about, the things like a deep GM mode, as Damon talked about it on an OS article that was released today, I believe it was. Go to Operation Sports and check that out if you haven't. It's actually a really good article. A deep GM mode, a story mode with a twist, things like that are interesting, regardless of whether it's mobile or not. I'd love a simulation football game on my iPhone that has the depth that they're speaking of. So I'm going to continue to support this. To those who say that they're not into mobile, I was in the same area about 2 years ago. I hated mobile gaming and the idea of mobile gaming, and I didn't want to go to PC because I saw many problems with PC gaming. There's a breakthrough that has to happen there, and it's not easy because you get super defensive with yourself. You say, okay, I don't want to play mobile, that's not for me, blah blah blah, but you never really try it. Or the game you try is just not your cup of tea. You have to find the game that gets you into the space. You have to find, I believe the game for me, I first started playing Facebook games. And I didn't really like them because they were limiting and a lot of things were behind paywalls. But I would just bring it up every couple minutes and play it for a few minutes. And I didn't feel like I had to devote a huge chunk of time, and it was always there when I wanted to come back to it. So, I believe the first game I played really was SimCity on Facebook, and it was cool. It wasn't a lasting thing. Like, I'm not still playing it. But that got me to download some other games. So, some other games that I downloaded for, I don't have my phone on me, but New Star Soccer was a game that was a lot of fun, and I played for a while, and then I hit a wall, and I just was like, okay, I don't want to play this anymore. But it was fun, and I poured several hours into playing it when I really didn't have to. And there's other games like Supercard, like Candy Crush, and just games that they're so stupid, but they're quick, fun games. And so that broadened my horizons to mobile to the point where I have now with WWE Supercard, which is a lot of fun to play because it doesn't involve a lot of investment. Like Mutt invests, half an hour to a game, or you know what I mean? You don't have to devote that time to Supercard. Or like Fallout Shelter, where you're kind of curating this vault full of people and bringing in new people and making sure people are in the right jobs, making sure when you get attacked that you have the right defenses and everything like that. It's an ongoing experience, and I think having a football experience like that would be a lot of fun. So I'm not throwing in the towel on Joe Montana 16. Will I cover it as much as I have been? Probably not, no. I'm definitely going to make Montana 16 and Superstar Games come out with info before I jump to any conclusions of any sort. But here's some news for you. I have talked to Damon Grow, and he has agreed to do a sit-down interview with me in San Francisco, or somewhere abouts. I live in Northern California, so it's not a short drive, but it's about a 4-hour drive for me to get down there. But still, the fact that I can sit down with Damon, talk to him face to face, and get some answers for you guys is something that I think will benefit this community, will benefit Montana 16, and help heal the relationship between you guys, between us, and between Damon. I want to ask him some hard questions, and I want him to be transparent with me. I don't expect him to be able to talk about everything, but I want to get some answers. I'm not driving down to San Francisco for my health. So I want to talk to him. I don't want to attack him. That's not my plan. That's not my goal with this interview that we have loosely planned. If it doesn't come through, it doesn't come through, and, it is what it is. But as of right now, I just need to find a way, or not a way, but a time to get down there and speak with him. So, in closing to this, because it's been about 15 minutes or so now, in closing to this, I want to say I feel your disappointment. You are right to be disappointed. This was a very unfortunate thing that happened. I think that originally Damon had this plan to be a console or at least a PC game. They explored their options, probably found out that they couldn't do it. At some point, found out that they probably couldn't do PC either, and that mobile was their only option. And that's put Damon in a really tough spot, and he has not backed down from the pressure. So props to Damon on that. And hopefully we can get some more answers here soon. So I understand if you're kind of checking yourself at the door and saying, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and head out on this one on Joe Montana 16. It's completely understandable. However, if you want change and you're not willing to open up and try mobile gaming, where best case scenario you dig it and continue to support it, or worst case scenario you lose a few bucks, if you're not willing to put that kind of investment into possibly getting more football in the market, then you really don't want more football in the market. You're just talking to talk. And you should probably stick with Madden, and you'll be, probably, I don't know if you'll be satisfied with Madden, but you'll have an okay experience, and that'll be that. Madden kind of refuses to innovate in things like presentation and game modes. When it comes to the deep game modes, they'd rather invest time into stuff like Draft Champions, where it's quick, it's social, and you know what? That's pretty funny because Madden's looking more like a mobile social game right now on console than we're hearing from Joe Montana 16. So that's my thoughts on the matter. Hope you guys enjoyed E3. I might make a video on E3 in general, things that I liked and was excited for, because I am, more than just a football gamer. Fallout 4 looked amazing, as did Super Mario Maker. So I'll be talking about those things probably sometime later. But thanks for listening, and I know you guys are upset. So drop your comments down at the bottom. Just keep it level-headed. There's no reason to attack anybody. There's no reason to use slurs or anything like that. So just keep it classy. And, if you're pissed off, say you're pissed off. If you're upset, tell somebody you're upset. Don't hold it in or whatever. Just let people know. Let Damon know. I bet you Damon welcomes it, because he needs to know that you guys aren't okay with this. He needs to know that he needs to strive to get this thing on consoles and a PC. So again, hopefully, I hope I can get down to San Francisco in the next couple weeks to get an interview with Damon and put it up here on my YouTube channel. So and if you have any questions for that interview, go ahead and drop them in the comments here. Again, I don't know exactly when this is happening, so I can't say exactly when your questions will be answered. But if you have questions, put them down in the comments and try to keep them constructive. So anyway, thanks for watching. I don't know what my next video is going to be, but it probably won't be Joe Montana 16. So thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Lex. See you guys later.